Hello everybody, welcome to the Great White Sharpedo Pokemon channel. Today we have another Pokemon Fire Red speed run with a DUNSPARCE. Warning, this is probably the most frustrating one I had to do. Thank you to Wildo for the suggestion, by the way. It was kind of interesting to do a bit of a random Pokemon that I've never really used before in my life. I remember catching one DUNSPARCE a long time ago, but didn't really ever get to use him much. So Wildo, I named this Pokemon after you as a thank you, and I chose Venusaur to be our rival because I hadn't really had to fight many Venusaurs yet. I think I've mainly fought Blastoise and Charizards, and I think this actually evens the ledger to 2 apiece per starter. So we have Serene Grace, which I check here to make sure that we've got it, but at the end of the day, as you'll see throughout the run, Serene Grace actually probably works against us more often than what it works for us. So if you don't know what it means that it promotes added effects. Things like, if you use Sludge Bomb, you're more likely to be poisoned. If you use things like Slash, you're more likely to get a critical hit. The problem is, Wildo doesn't learn any moves that get critical hits, or he could learn Body Slam, which would have been a perfect move for him. But after an hour and 4 minutes, we decided to take on Brock. And this is how our battle goes. So we'd learnt Glare at level 14. I did a little bit of grinding before the gym battle. And then I go for as many defense kills as I can to try and give myself the best chance of surviving. And it sort of goes pretty well because we have a few potions so that we can do that. But we get up against Onyx, and he just outpowers us right at the end. So we have to go back, recoup, level up a bit more, and come back. An hour 21, so we're sort of already fairly far behind everyone else. I think Houndoom might have been the only one that was a bit of a struggle early on. Even Kangaskhan had Comet Punch, so that made it a bit easier. But as you can see, our Rage built up a fair bit there, and we were able to take him out. Having Rage early on was really frustrating because it's a 20 base power attack stat. Didn't really do much. I didn't really see myself using Yawn either, so I got rid of that pretty quickly. We go through Mount Moon this time with really no issues compared to the last run with Haunter, where we decided to die at the very end of every single cave that we went into. If our next rollout attack had hit Misty then, we would have won. But anyway, so we go back again and we take her on. And we take her on pretty convincingly this time. We roll out and we get the win. Go to face our rival next after that. And forget to heal up because I'm stupid. But that's okay. So we start a rollout. And we use rollout a fair bit until we can get Rock Slide from the Rock Tunnel. Which we keep for the rest of the game because Rock Slide is a pretty good move that can flinch. So, as you'll see later on in the game, we use Rock Slide to our advantage a fair bit. So, we finish that. We go straight back down to Vermilion City after the Nugget Bridge, after helping Bill. And we take on our rival again. And his Pokemon have really only gone up by like 1 level each. So, there's really no struggle here at all. I feel like they could have leveled them up a tiny bit more, because there's quite a few battles you have to do in between here and there. So we roll out Ivysaur, we get the win. Level 32, relatively average on track. 3 hours and 26 minutes before we take on Surge. I'd much rather be in a better position, but what can you do? So we go for rollout, doesn't work, Water Pulse, and we lose from a Shockwave. So this time we go back there when we've got more HP, and obviously the scenario is a bit different. We go for the Defense Curl and rollout combination. If you guys didn't know what it does in Gen 3, if you use Defense Curl and then roll out, your attack stat for the rollout attack is actually doubled. So it's pretty handy to have. It's a pretty good combination. So it ups your defense but also ups your attack at the same time. So we get rid of Pursuit, teach him Shockwave so that we can take on any water type Pokemon going forward, and flying types such as Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, whatever. We take on Giovanni straight away because I know that we can beat him with Water Pulse. We get rid of Defense Curl, learn Takedown, but that's not going to stay around too much longer either. We're probably going to teach Strength to him after that. But so as you can see, any bite attack or anything that normally has a small chance of flinching, we actually get flinched, slashed, poisoned, / confused from Water Pulse quite a fair bit. 4 hours and 46 minutes against Erica. Take on a victory bell. I go with Rock Slide, and as you'll see here, the effects: 2 flinches in a row, 3 flinches in a row, 5 in a row, 6 in a row. So that's where it can work in our favor. They didn't get to land one single attack on us when they probably well could have. Having all those flinches in a row really was handy, and something that didn't really work in our favor as much for the rest of the game, but it's good to know that you've got sort of those options to use Rock Slide and make them flinch later on. So we take on our rival in the Lavender Tower, and again, we are so far ahead, nearly 20 levels up. 5 hours and 49 minutes later, we take on Koga with our Wildo, and as you'll see, things are a little bit tough because getting poisoned is much more likely in this gym. Even if we do flinch them a fair bit, the poison we can't combat it at all. We lose our first attempt, so I decided to go and level up a little bit in the Rocket Hideout. We take on the rival, and things start off pretty convincingly, but as you'll see, we have a little bit of unluckiness at the end. Something about Venusaur I didn't really know, that his defenses is quite good. We didn't really do any damage to him at all, so he destroyed our whole team. Go back to the fight the rival again. Things hopefully are a little bit different this time. We seem to get some lucky hits, and then we take on Giovanni at the end of the Rocket Hideout and basically work our way through as best we can. Not really having any good stab moves at the moment sort of hurts us as well. We've got strength, but it doesn't really do as much as takedown, but at the same time, takedown was recoil damage, so we sort of have to stick with strength as much as it's not really too beneficial for us. Because our stats aren't really that great at all, we have to make do with what we've got. 6 hours and 14 minutes, 6 hours and 20 minutes once we get to Sabrina. Sabrina's pretty simple. It's strength the whole way through. Her whole team is built with glass cannons, so we can take them out all pretty convincingly. Sabrina's quite a scary person if you have a super effective weakness to her, but otherwise it's not really a drama at all. She's actually probably one of the easiest gym leaders in Kanto. So we go straight back to Koga and we give it another go. We get a little bit of luck with confusion, but they also get a little bit of luck with poison. They poison us again and we lose again. So we go and level up, we come back, level 55. This time we do a lot better and we actually beat him. So 6 hours and 56 minutes at Lance, and as you can already tell, we are seriously struggling for time. It's basically just all the losses from big battles against... Right, we lose to Blaine again. Second run in a row where we lost to Blaine on the first attempt, so that was quite frustrating. Second attempt on Blaine, we actually win. 7 hours and 4 minutes, and then 7 hours and 21 minutes to get to Giovanni. And this battle was relatively simple. Nothing too crazy about it at all. Pretty much water pulse our whole way through his team. At this stage, I'm sort of realizing that our level is not going to be high enough to compete with the Elite Four as well. We have a decent amount of HP, but our level and our stats just aren't really going to be competitive enough to beat the Elite Four. So it's a bit of a worry going forward. And we get to the rival, the 6th rival fight. We take him on, and Feather Dance is really quite frustrating. It's cuts our attack. Gyarados and Growlithe cut our attacks. And Alakazam one-hit KOs us with a Psychic. So we go straight back there and we try again, because that's what good boys do. They keep on trying, persevere, and never give up. Venusaur's defense against us, and we really don't have any moves. I wanted to teach him Flamethrower, but I didn't have enough money to buy it. So we've tracked pretty well. I think we're at about 8 hours and 15 minutes or so, again, at the Elite Four. And then this is where the carnage begins. I sort of realized 8 hours and 18 minutes, we're kind of on track to potentially get in at 4th spot. But as you'll see, we actually have a pretty decent run against the first gym leader, Lorelei, Elite Four member Lorelei. But Jinx actually stops us dead in our tracks. And then it's just chaos from there. We lose. I think I lose probably about 10 times. Just can't beat her. And then we finally do at level 68. We get to Brock. Oh, we get to Brock. We get to Bruno. And again, we just can't get through past Machamp at all. Level 71, we level up even more. And Machamp just destroys us with cross drop. Level 74, we come back. So right now, I've gone through probably another 10 times, and it's still not happening. Another 5 levels of grinding. We still lose. Our stats are just not good enough. So we go to level 86, and we've just pumped him full of rare candies to try and get us the best possible chance of beating the Elite Four. And as you'll see, some of the effects, like having Ice Beam, freezing Machamp, really helped. We actually have a good run against Agatha. We beat her, but the problem that I've got now is I'm starting to run out of full restores, so I have to be quite managing of those. Lance is probably the easiest battle we have in the whole game. Having Thunderbolt and Ice Beam really made a difference. Destroys whole team, and then we get to the final stumbling block, and for the second run in a row, I lose to Rhydon through an unlucky critical hit, plus just was dumb play. So we actually get straight back to the rival. We actually are able to get back there super quickly. We didn't lose any battles in between now and then. We just beat everybody. We get back. It's about 10 hours and 50 minutes by the time we face the rival. And as you'll see, again, I just couldn't believe for the second run in a row, I lost to the rival at the very last Pokemon with barely any health left. It was almost like I was cursed. So hopefully in the next run, which if you guys are still here, here's a spoiler alert. It's a Squirtle run, which is going to be pretty fun. Suggested by one of the subscribers. Thank you so much. It's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. I haven't as yet played of this recording, so we're going to give it a bit of a go, and hopefully we can beat the game. But we beat him, and we're going to go see our Hall of Fame entry and our time, and it's hilarious because we have a draw. Spoiler alert, and my dog is choking in the background. But level 90, beat the Elite Four, beat the game, beat the speed run, and it is 10 hours and 56 minutes. The same as Doug Trio, the exact same time. That's hilarious. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and a sub for me. That would be beautiful. Next week's video is a bit of a basic one, but I kind of like the suggestion, as you can see here. Thank you, Tom, for the suggestion of a Squirtle run. We're going to see how we go, and then we've got another run set up for the week after as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Let's see how we go with Squirtle. We'll see you next week. Peace!